I, 24F, have been dating my boyfriend, 28M, for 4 years, and I thought we were solid. We had our ups and downs like any couple, but nothing that ever made me question our future. Until last night. We were out with some of his friends at a bar, just having a good time, when one of his buddies started talking about a girl he was seeing. He described her as the kind of woman you marry. I didn't think much of it, just sipping my drink and listening. But then my boyfriend laughed and said, "Yeah, that's a rare find. Most women these days are just for fun." I don't know why, but something in me just tensed. Maybe it was the way he said it. I jokingly nudged him and asked, "So what am I? Fun or marriage material?" Without even hesitating, he smirked and said, You're the kind of girl guys date, not the kind they marry." The table laughed. I didn't. I tried to laugh it off, telling myself it was just one of his tasteless jokes, but I could feel my face heating up. "That's not funny." He just shrugged. "Relax, it's a compliment. It means you're exciting, not boring." Exciting, not boring, but also not worthy of marriage? I didn't want to start something in front of his friends, so I bit my tongue and spent the rest of the night pretending I wasn't completely thrown. But on the drive home, it gnawed at me. "Do you really think that about me?" I finally asked. "That I'm not the kind of girl you'd marry?" He sighed, keeping his eyes on the road. "Babe, you're taking it too seriously. It was just a joke." "But jokes come from somewhere, right? So tell me, is that how you really see me?" He was silent for a beat too long. "Look, I just meant you're independent. You don't really need a guy to take care of you. You like to have fun, live in the moment. You're not exactly the wife type." I felt like I had been sucker punched. "So what, you don't see a future with me? You've been wasting my time for 4 years?" I didn't say that, but if you're asking if I see us settling down anytime soon, I don't know. Marriage isn't on my mind right now. I turned to stare out the window, my stomach twisting. "Good to know." He reached for my hand, but I pulled away. The rest of the ride was silent. When we got home, I went straight to bed without saying another word. This morning, he's been texting me non-stop, apologizing, saying he didn't mean it that way, that he loves me. But now I can't unhear what he said. Because maybe he didn't mean it as an insult, but the message was clear. He doesn't see me as his future. And now I have to figure out if I'm okay with Vader, if I've just been wasting 4 years of my life on a man who will never see me as more than a temporary thrill. I will be very grateful if you subscribe to our channel.
I, 23F, have been with my boyfriend, Jake, 25M, for almost 3 years. We live together, have a dog, and we're even starting to talk about getting engaged. I thought everything was perfect until last Friday night. Jake told me he was having a guys' night with his best friend Ryan and a few others. No big deal, right? I wasn't feeling well, so I stayed in, planning to have a quiet night watching television. He kissed my forehead before leaving and said, "I'll be back late, don't wait up." Something felt off. Not in a huge way, but in that weird gut-feeling way you can't quite explain. Maybe it was the way he hesitated before walking out the door, or how he'd been glued to his phone all week, chuckling at messages but keeping the screen tilted away from me. Around 11 p.m., my best friend Emma called me. She had gone out to a bar across town with her coworkers. Halfway through our conversation, she suddenly gasped and said, "Why is Jake here?" I thought she was joking. "What? He's at Ryan's." "No, girl. He's literally at the bar, and he's not alone." She quickly snapped a photo and sent it to me. My stomach dropped. There he was sitting at a booth with a group of people, but right next to him, leaning in close, was a woman I didn't recognize. Her hand was on his arm, and his smile looked a little too comfortable. I didn't react immediately. I just stared at my phone, my brain short-circuiting. I wanted to believe there was some innocent explanation, but my heart was pounding. I texted him casually, "How's guys' night?" No reply. I waited another 20 minutes. Still nothing. I texted Ryan, "Hey, what are you guys up to?" Ryan replied instantly, "Just chilling at my place, playing some FIFA." Why? My blood ran cold. I sent him the photo. Dude, what the hell? He told me he was sick and staying home. That was all I needed to hear. I grabbed my keys, threw on a hoodie, and drove straight to the bar. Emma met me outside, looking nervous. He hasn't seen me yet. Do you want to go in? I took a deep breath and nodded. When I walked in, my heart pounded so loud I could barely hear the music. I spotted them immediately. Jake was laughing, leaning in close to that same woman. She was twirling a lock of her hair, her other hand on his thigh. I walked straight up to the table and cleared my throat. "Hey, babe!" Jake's face drained of color. The woman? She just looked confused. Who are you?" I turned to her, forcing a polite smile. "His girlfriend. You?" Her eyebrows shot up. He told me he was single. Jake stammered. "Wait, babe, it's not what it looks like." "Oh, so you didn't lie to both of us?" I turned to the woman. "Did he tell you he was at home sick tonight? Because he told Ryan the same thing." She snatched her purse off the table and stormed off, muttering something under her breath. I looked at Jake, who had the audacity to look hurt. "Why would you come here?" he asked. "Why would you lie?" I shot back. He sighed, rubbing his face. "It wasn't like that. She's just a friend. We were catching up." "You told her you were single, Jake, and you lied to Ryan. Why?" He had no answer. I turned and walked out, leaving him sitting there with his beer, alone. The next morning, he showed up at our apartment trying to explain. "It was just an ego boost," he admitted finally. "I wasn't gonna cheat. I just liked the attention." I stared at him, feeling like I was looking at a stranger. And lying to me? To Ryan? Was that part of the fun too? He begged me to forgive him, swearing he'd never do it again. But the trust was shattered. That night, I packed a bag and went to Emma's. I told him I needed space. A week later, I found out through Ryan that the woman from the bar, she wasn't just a random girl. Jake had been messaging her for weeks. That was it for me. I ended things, and he cried, pleaded, promised to change. But I knew better. Once someone shows you who they are, believe them. It's been 3 months now,